Good morning. Welcome to Column Hinge at Alpha Ωmega Mystery School. We're located halfway between Death Valley and Las Vegas. Halfway between Joshua Tree and Area 51 in the Mojave Desert of the Southwest United States.
Good morning. The ancient magic ritual you're about to experience is unique in the world.
There it is.
Written and performed from the first-person perspective of Jesus of Nazareth, this rite comes from the Bruce Codex, an ancient Christian manuscript rediscovered beneath the sands of Egypt in 1769 that purports to contain the secret teachings of Jesus to his disciples. Within the Bruce Codex, you'll find the first and second books of Eo, the lost books of the Bible, that teach all of these secret teachings. The rite you're about to experience is called the opening of the Treasury of Light and comes from the first book of Eo. I'm Bishop David Griffin.
I'm Reverend High Priestess Leslie McQuade.
And this is the lost magic of Jesus Revival.
The sun is the dispenser of light to the earth. May the living light of the God Force inflame our souls with abundant life.
Our destiny lies amongst the stars, and to the stars humanity shall ascend in resurrecting bodies of living light.
Take a nice deep breath and feel into your body. Breathe deeply. Feel how each breath moves you. Your breath moves your shoulders, your ribs. Find a more comfortable position to stand as you expand your ribs as far as you can, breathing in as much as you can. And as you are breathing deeply and feeling deeply into each and every part of yourself, visualize yourself as the tree of life, however it is you imagine that tree to be. And grow your branches up high into alpha sky. Drive your roots down deep into Omega Earth. I call on you. In the east, Alpha. I call on you. In the west, Omega. I call on you. In the north, Alpha. I call on you. In the west, Omega.
Alpha,
Et Omega.
the beginning,
And the
and the
end.
path of the age between. Sunrise,
And sunset.
and the path of the sun between. Birth,
And death.
the path of life between. Alpha.
Omega.
Once again, we gather here in this magnificent place at Column Henge, and reaching out with the energy of our energetic bodies, we reconnect with the invisible life force energy all around us. And reconnected with this God force, divine life energy, we call upon the angels in the invisible, watchers of the seventh treasury of light. Attend. Io ia. Io ia. Oe ai. Oe ai. Eyo ae a a a. Start over, please. And there are 12 heads in his treasury, and these are the names that are in the places when they sing praises to my Father, and he gives light power to them. O mighty angel, head in the place of the east, we call upon you. We invoke you in your proper place and your proper rank, using your secret name left to us by the living Jesus. Io Nazeo. Io Nazeo. O Nazoei. O Nazoei. Ea ze ozeia. Ea ze ozeia. Thonamao. Thonamao. Ibgeis a eia. Ibgeis a eia. Baochazaio. Baochazaio. Ozaioa. Ozaioa. Ethoeozaioi. Ethoeozaioi. Zanazahoza. Zanazahoza. Foxaya. Foxaya. Iae. Iae iozoae. Iae iozoae. Aoiz. Aoize a ai. Aoize a ai. And so we completed our journey through the places, invoking each mighty angel head in its proper place, until at length we came into the place of the midst, the place of perfect balance, the place of the Father of the Treasury of Light. O Father, O Father of the Treasury of Light, by your cipher and by your name we invoke you. Ziza-O. Ziza-O. Let the divine light descend. It is the intention of this ritual and our fervent prayer, as it is every single day, to establish human freedom worldwide.
Human freedom worldwide.
Let our people go.
Let our people go.
Set our people free.
Set our people free.
Protect Homo sapiens from extinction.
Protect Homo sapiens from extinction.
Protect the integrity of our genetic code.
Protect the integrity of Homo sapiens' genetic code.
Restore the purity of our air.
Restore the purity of our air.
Of our water.
Restore the purity of our water.
Of our food.
Restore the purity of our food.
And our medicine.
Restore the purity of our medicines.
May all who seek the abundant life promised by the living Jesus come to discover their energetic souls and how to flood them with the living light all around us. And then in that hour when death comes calling, may we shed this physical body like a serpent sheds its skin and rise triumphant into the kingdom of light, the kingdom of heaven. And then, wherever you may be, whatever your need or your affliction may be, ask now for a miracle with an open heart, in full faith, expecting a miracle, and it shall be granted to you. All these things we ask in the name of the living Jesus. Amen.
Amen. So mote it be. Take a moment now to again feel into your body. This ancient magical rite we are doing helps bring more God force energy into your conscious life. You are a conscious individual. Consciousness is something that tells us we understand that we are thinking, feeling creatures. We also understand our own mortality. And this is part of what makes consciousness a burden. So many people fear their own death. And it's this fear of their own death that causes them to act differently when here. And it seems so strange to me because everyone who is born here on earth is born with a death sentence. There's absolutely no way to leave this earth without dying. That is how it happens when it is time for the soul to leave the meat suit and go back to the kingdom of light from whence we came. Now, this fear of death, this is something that is, when you look at it on its face, completely irrational. There's absolutely no reason why we should fear death itself, because it was given to us as a gift at the time of our birth. A promise that at the end of this life, we may return to where we belong, the other place that we belong, in the kingdom of light. And I bring this up because there are so many people who are sloughing off their fear today. Memorial Day, on this day when we commemorate the deaths of those who gave us freedom, we are reminded that our freedom to live is as important as was their freedom to give their life for this freedom we now enjoy. And so I tell you that when you are filled with God force, you are fearless, even in the face of death. There's truly nothing to fear from death. There may be fear of the pain that might accompany death. That is rational. But the death itself is something we have always known is coming. Do not be afraid. You should live your life as you see fit. In fact, death should be the reason why you live the life you see fit. You should be afraid not to live the life that you want, having been given this precious gift for this brief moment before re-entering the eternity into light. Make the most of the time that you have on this earth. Put your fear of death far, far behind you, no matter what your age or health status. You need to live, and that more life is had in the God force. This is the message that the living Jesus brought to everyone, that life is glorious and to be enjoyed, and it is easy to enjoy when there is more of it. And all you need to do to have more life and put the fear of death far behind you is to live your life. Breathe in God force energy. Don't let anyone knock you off your path. Don't be swayed by the opinions of others. You do what you know is right. Live the life you have always wanted to live. Break the shackles, throw off the chains, throw open the door, dash outside into the sun, and breathe in the power of God force.
Thank you, Leslie, for that inspiring message. You know, Leslie and I were warning you about this virus long time before it ever hit the papers because we were watching the images come out of China. You know, folks, we've been here all around the world, actually, we've been the victim of psychological warfare, trying to scare the living bejesus out of us. And to a certain extent, it certainly worked, because we've never been confronted by a biological weapon before. We didn't know what to expect. And what we now know is that China, in cahoots with the UN, especially the World Health Organization, was running a psyop to scare the living bejesus out of us. We were watching those totalitarian images come out of China of people being caught with butterfly nets at road checkpoints and being welded into their homes and dragged screaming and kicking out of their homes. And then this was followed up by the World Unhealth Organization trying to tell us the lie that this virus had a 3.7% kill rate. Well, we know a lot better than that now. Now the data is in. The actual death rate of this virus is about, I don't know, anywhere from 0.1% to 0.5 to 0.1% to 0.05%, which is like more or less the same as the flu, maybe a little bit more. But we don't close down every year for the flu. Now, what we don't know, what we still don't know, is if the Chinese let this virus loose on purpose or not. What we do know is when it hit Wuhan, they did decide to let it loose on the rest of the world. They closed down flights to everywhere in China and left the international flights open. And this is what the world is so upset with China and with the UN about right now, because the World Health Organization promoted the fear. Now, we do know that they're guilty at least of letting it loose. Now think about that for a moment, folks. It either means that they deliberately released a bioweapon to destroy the economies of the rest of the world, or somehow it got loose in one of their labs and they decided to let it loose on the rest of the world because they weren't going to just have their economy destroyed. They decided to destroy the world economy, let it loose, and sent out all these fear-inspiring images. Well, folks, now that we look back on it, we know the truth. And doctors are speaking out about this now and being banned right and left from YouTube, because YouTube, of course, is in cahoots with the UN. They will delete anything that doesn't go along with what the World Health Organization says, which means they're deleting anything that doesn't go along with the Chinese official propaganda line of trying to scare us into destroying our economy. So now that we know this, have a great Memorial Day weekend. Leave the fear behind. Leave the fear at home and get out, enjoy the sun, and have a great life. May God bless you this Memorial Day. Thank you so much for coming out. We really appreciate your being here. By the way, if you'd like to make a donation, and we would really appreciate if you would, drop by and visit us at alphaomega.church. This is the only way we have to pass around the collection plate. And we are a good old-fashioned church, and that means we're a free church. We don't accept any government funds. We don't ask for any government funds. We depend solely and completely on our congregation through your donations and your purchase of our ministry and magic courses. Thank you again for coming out. Thanks for being here. We will be here as sure as the sunrise again tomorrow. And until then, have faith and expect a miracle.
And I'm taking you over here to show you some coyotes. There's some coyotes. This is why the ravens are going berserk when you heard them. And there's a family of coyotes that's walking behind the hedge line this morning. I saw them right over there by that white building. We're going to sneak right over here real quick.
See if we can't see them.
See if we can't catch them. The ravens are still barking like the...
As though they're here.
Yeah, and they were right over here. Let's see. Can we see them at all? The ravens will show us where they are. See? The ravens are going right over to where they are. Well, that was exciting. And until we have the pleasure of each other's company again, may the God force run strong within you.